In chapter 9, Foucault explores how societies have shifted their methods of punishment over time, focusing on the move from public displays of punishment like executions to private imprisonment. This change was not just about hiding punishment, but about creating systems to control behavior. In the past, punishments like chain gangs, groups of prisoners chained together and forced to work publicly were common. These spectacles combined pain with public shaming. By the 1830s, chain gangs were replaced by enclosed carriages designed to hide prisoners from view. This shift marked a new approach. Punishment became less about public suffering and more about isolating individuals to correct them. However, these systems did not truly aim to reform people. Instead, they created a cycle where prisons produced delinquents, a class of people labeled as criminals, easier to control and exploit. Prisons, despite claims of failure, persisted because they served hidden purposes. Instead of reducing crime, they managed it by separating delinquency from other illegal activities. Delinquency became a category of controlled, visible crime that authorities could monitor. This allowed governments to focus on policing certain groups while ignoring or tolerating other illegal acts by the powerful. For example, laws targeting the poor for vagrancy or petty theft were strictly enforced, while wealthy individuals engaging in corruption or exploitation often escaped punishment. The prison system, alongside police networks, created a self-sustaining cycle. Prisons fed delinquency, which justified more policing, which filled prisons again. The failure of prisons to rehabilitate is a key theme. Statistics from the 19th century show high rates of repeat offenders, proving prisons did not fix criminals. Instead, they exposed inmates to harsher environments, corruption, and networks of crime. Prison labor meant to teach skills often resembled slavery, with profits going to private companies. Inmates released from prison faced stigma, making it hard to find work, pushing many back into crime. Families of prisoners were left in poverty, perpetuating cycles of disadvantage. Critics argued prisons were schools for crime, not centers of reform, yet proposed solutions always circled back to the same ideas: stricter discipline, isolation, and moral education methods that had already failed. Foucault highlights how the justice system works with police and prisons to maintain social order. Judges, police, and prisons form a network that does not just push crime but defines it. By labeling certain acts as delinquent, the system targets marginalized groups while protecting the interests of the powerful. For instance, workers protesting unfair wages could be arrested alongside thieves, blurring the line between political dissent and crime. This tactic kept the working class divided and easier to control. Meanwhile, the wealthy engaged in illegal activities like tax evasion or exploitation with little consequence, as laws were designed to overlook their actions. Resistance to this system emerged from workers and reformers. Labor newspapers criticized prisons for focusing on punishing the poor while ignoring elite crimes. They argued that poverty and inequality, not moral failure, drove people to crime. Movements called for fairer trials and highlighted how the justice system protected the rich. Some groups, like the Fourierists, even saw crime as a rebellion against an unjust society. They argued that the system's repression created delinquents to justify its existence. These critics exposed the hypocrisy of laws that claimed neutrality but served the powerful. The prison system reflects broader social inequalities. It does not exist to eliminate crime but to manage it in ways that maintain existing power structures. By isolating delinquency, authorities can present it as a separate issue, ignoring the root cause like poverty and exploitation. This system benefits those in power by keeping the marginalized trapped in cycles of punishment and control. Real change requires addressing these deeper inequalities rather than relying on a broken prison system. The history of punishment shows that reforms alone will not work. The entire approach to justice and social order needs rethinking.